Bonsoir mes amis, welcome to another episode of Alan's Collection. Today we have for you Remy Lebeau, le Diable Blanc, Gambit himself, and he's had quite a part to play in the new X-Men animated series, X-Men 97. So, without further ado, I give you Gambit. Remember it. From Marvel Legends, X-Men 97, Gambit. Okay guys, here we have the outer box for X-Men 97 Marvel Legends series, Gambit. And this character brings back good memories, guys. Here we have the outer box with a very nice artwork of Gambit. As you can see, he's ready for battle. He has the staff behind him and we can see him preparing the cards. And of course, you can see X-Men 97 on the top left corner. And other mutants there, Storm, Bishop, Wolverine, Magneto, and Rogue. And of course, we have here the figure itself with all of his accessories, looking absolutely fantastic, guys. We also have the Hasbro logo here, and a warning here. And below we have a leaflet, piece of paper with some instructions and warnings, guys. Now let's check out the back of the box. Here we have the entire wave. This would be the first wave based on the X-Men 97, guys. And to the right we have the figure posed in a very cool way, guys. And below we can see all the legal information and warnings. So now let's check out the blister box, guys. Okay guys, here we have the blister box for Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Gambit. And of course now we can appreciate even more the figure, how cool he is, and of course the accessories as well. Now, let's check out the vanilla pose, guys. Okay guys, here we have X-Men 97 Marvel Legends Gambit in his vanilla pose. And this is a character that I used to watch in the first animated X-Men of the 1990s. And of course, his power to charge and throw cards is what caught my attention back then. Though he's not my favorite character, but he certainly made a good impression. So, what stands out in this figure is that awesome windswept hair, guys. But we shall be talking about his hair and head sculpt later. Let's first take a look at the awesome coat. It's very clean, has all the necessary wrinkles, especially in the arms, as you can see there. And it's just the right size, I would say. In terms of color, I would have preferred a darker brown. I had the Toy Biz Gambit back in the day, and it had that darker brown jacket. Next we can see part of the torso, and I very much like the combination of colors. We have purplish around his neck, and then we have pink below on the torso, and then the legs are black. The boots are dark blue, guys. Very nice, guys. Very nice. Now we can talk about the head sculpt and that awesome windswept hair. Of course, this hair is spot on, very clean, neat, and all the lines are there, as you can see. Next, we have his classic black face mask. Makes him look really cool, guys. Classic red eyes and even his partially shaved beard. You can see the details in his chin. So, very, very cool figure, guys. Okay, now let's check out the articulation for X-Men 97 Gambit. Okay guys, let's check out now the articulation for Gambit. And let's start with the head. As you can see, the head moves down very nicely. And it goes up very nicely. You can also turn the head left and turn the head right. You can rotate the head like that. Now let's check out the torso articulation. You can bend the torso, you can move the torso forward very nicely, guys. The coat doesn't get in the way, as you can see. However, if you want to move the torso backwards, it isn't that much. Just a little bit, just a tiny bit. The same happens when you wish to move the torso to the left or to the right. You can barely move it, though you can see the articulation there. Let's try our luck. Let's see arm articulation, guys. As you can see, the arm moves forward very nicely. The arm moves backwards all the way to here. And as you can see, the arm also moves out like this. Continuing with the arm articulation, as you can see, Gambit has a shoulder cut. And you can rotate the shoulder very nicely, guys. Moving down to the elbow articulation, it's a single jointed elbow and you can flex this elbow like this. And finally we have hand articulation. We can't exactly move up and down the wrist. However, you can rotate the wrist very nicely like this. Now let's check out the leg articulation, guys. As you can see, you can move the leg forward very nicely. However, because of the coat, you can barely move the leg backwards. You cannot exactly move the leg out much. Gambit does have a thigh cut. And you can rotate the thigh like this. And then we can see that Gambit has a double jointed knee. You can bend the knee like this. Gambit does have a shin cut. And you can rotate it very nicely like this. Moving on to the foot articulation, as you can see, the foot is very stiff and I do not feel encouraged to force the movement on the foot, guys. So we will leave it as it is. And that's it for Gambit's articulation. Now let's check out his accessories, guys. Okay guys, let's check out the accessories for Gambit. It only brings 3 accessories. And of course, let's start with his classic weapon, his staff. So very nice, and it's a bit bendy, as you can see here. It's a bluish, grayish staff, guys. Very nicely sculpted stuff. Moving on, we have the interchangeable hand with the throwing card effect. It's translucent pink, very nicely sculpted. And we have 3 ace cards there, the ace of clubs, ace of diamonds, and ace of spades. So it's very, very nice accessory if you want to display your Gambit figure fighting along the X-Men. And finally we have just a charged card. It's the ace of hearts, guys. If you just want to display him wanting to throw a card to Magneto. We all know why, guys. Okay guys, it is impossible to talk about this Gambit without talking about that explosive and unfortunately deadly episode of the X-Men 97. Magneto, Rogue and Gambit travel to Genosha, and to their surprise, mutants are being well treated and have a better life in Genosha. As the episode continues, Rogue and Magneto are in the gala and goes to dance with Magneto, but in the end Rogue ends up rejecting Magneto. But there is a massive attack in Genosha by a really big sentinel, which puts the X-Men in trouble. So the assault on Genosha progresses and creates a complete devastation. And Gambit, to save his friend's life, he gives up his, guys, with his last words being, "The name's Gambit, mon ami, remember it." Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think about it in the comment, and don't forget to give a like, and of course subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next on Alan's Collection.